My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. And welcome, happy South Lake morning. Hey, sorry we're a little bit delayed, but you know the problem with technology is it's technology. But our amazing wizard of production, Jay, made it happen. I'm so grateful. It's a little tense sometimes for him when stuff goes down, but he made it all come together.
Nonsense, Joe. I held it together just fine.
You did hold it together just fine. You didn't get quite. I have to say, Jay, you are improving by leaps and bounds. I can remember just a few months ago, you'd have been like bouncing off the ceiling. And not in a good way.
No, I've grown.
You have.
It was my birthday yesterday.
You have.
I've grown since yesterday.
Oh man, I can't believe I missed your birthday.
That's okay. I didn't tell you about it, so it's all good.
Because you're one of those guys, huh?
Yeah, I just quietly stepped aside.
You cannot escape me.
Yeah, I know.
And of course, is that why we didn't have a live show? Is that why we did recording?
No, I'll actually tell you. I'll tell you what we did yesterday. We took a training day at the Small Business Development Center, and we went and took a course on on government contracting and different things like that. It was really very informative. If you are in business and you have not contacted your Small Business Development Center, I definitely recommend you reach out to Caesar at the SBDC. And every month or so, they have different classes. Of course, with all this stuff going on health-wise, that's kind of up in the air. Schedule-wise, but they have some really great courses that I think business owners should be taking, especially if you do business-to-business relationships or any kind of interaction with municipalities, civil municipalities, public offices, different things like that. It would be a great thing. But we had a training day yesterday, so I believe in everyone as a company being up to speed on what we need to do to, work with as many different people as possible, and the government being one of them. So, yeah, it was fun.
It was Joe was going to go to that, but he was so tired from rehearsals. We just finished Tech Week. I took the opportunity to sleep in, so I figured Jay and Miss Doris can give me all the information I need out of that, and maybe I'll have to reach out to Caesar and bring him on the show to talk about things like that. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. Today is National Not My Fault, or National Blame Someone Else Today. It's not my fault. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the Moonlight Players opening the Farndale Avenue Macbeth production tonight. Really excited about that. On Cup of Joe today, we're going to continue our, is that the runs? We'll talk about that in a minute when we get back. On Cup of Joe today, we are going to talk about reading the R in Savers from the Miracle Mornings. We can talk a little bit about scribing. And finally, we are joined by Larry Oskin, the president and CEO of Marketing Solutions, a public relations, marketing, photography, all things to promote your business company. Guy has a great perspective. He does a lot of great work in the community, working for several of the nonprofits. We're going to talk about all of that when we bring him on. I've actually known Larry for a little while. I'm really excited to have him here to tell you how to promote your business really in some of the most effective ways that you can. All right, and we're going to hear from our sponsors. When we get back, we'll get started. I'll see you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Life is better when you're smiling. At Modern Orthodontics, Dr. Alan Wong has changed thousands of lives, helping patients achieve the modern smile with braces and clear aligners. Utilizing digital scanning technology, Modern Orthodontics creates in-office 3D models for clearly modern aligners. Modern Orthodontics is conveniently located in Claremont, Apopka, and Bushnell. Call or text us to schedule your free exam and create your modern smile today.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Look, today is National Blame Someone Else Day. I wish they called this Not My Fault Day. I think blame someone else is, not my fault, pretty much covers it. My kids were young. Timmy he was the oldest child. He was always blamed, even though he was in school. If one of the kids, we found something that Timmy did it, so that has become a family thing. Look, today is your day to throw somebody else under the bus. Today is the day that you get a pass for blaming somebody else. So, look, Jay, that was not your fault today. That was the fault of, let me see, who are we going to blame? Let's blame the president. Everything else is his fault. We're going to blame him today. It was the president's fault. All right. Celebrate today. Don't take the blame. Macbeth opening night. As you know, I've been working for this for some months now. We have the Farndale Avenue, Farndale Housing Estate Townswomen's Guild Dramatic Society's production of Macbeth. We interviewed several of the characters from the play right here on the show. I encourage you, go out and see it. You get a chance to see Joe do a real dance, at least attempt to do a real dance. You can actually buy your tickets online. These are the nights that it's performing. We open tonight and go on for the next 3 weeks with Sunday afternoon 2:30 matinees. It's a great time, very affordable. I believe tickets are $20 a piece or $15 a piece. And don't worry about the virus. It's a small setting. I think we seat 100, 125 people, something like that. So you're not going to be in this huge crowd to get real sick. And we talked last night. They've got plenty of hand sanitizer in the bathrooms. They've got their alcohol wiping everything today. So just in case. Cup of Joe. Reading, savors, silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise. We covered all these. The last two is reading and scribing. We're going to talk today about reading a little bit. Look, the truth is readers are leaders. If you spend 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, reading in one industry or one subject, in less than 18 months, you will be one of the world's most informed people on that subject. That translates to dollars in your pocket if it's in business. It translates to improving your professionalism, improving your performance. If you want to be the best grant writer in the entire country, then you need to read 10 minutes a day. Reading is the best way for you to assimilate information. It's scientific. Your brain actually processes reading differently than it processes video. And while some of us say I'm not a good learner that way, you can train yourself to be. 10 minutes a day. Now, we are going to talk about scribing, but actually next week, my Cup of Joe theme is going, and scribing refers to journaling. We're going to talk about journaling all week. I'm going to give you some of my tips and tricks, some of the different forms of journaling. If you're interested in journaling, and you should be interested in journaling, we're going to cover that all week. That's going to be our theme. Finally, I can bring you, we're going to go to commercial break again really quick. And when we get back, we're going to be joined by Larry Oskin, the president and CEO of Marketing Solutions. Guys, got an incredible story. He's an amazing guy. Like I said, he does an awful lot of this work for local nonprofits and that sort of thing. So don't go away. When we get back, Larry will be with us. See you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Fifty West, pre-leasing now in Claremont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. or visit lease at 50west.com.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater shopping plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome. I just want to say really quick, I do love all of our sponsors. I usually take some time to talk about you, but we're a little bit delayed today because of the technical difficulties. So just know that I love you. My heart is in you. And if you are watching our sponsors on this station, you should utilize those businesses. Don't miss the boat. Get out there and use them. We vet all of our sponsors. Not everybody gets to advertise here. Okay, that said, this is Larry. Thank you for coming on out, man. I really appreciate it.
This is exciting.
Larry is one of those guys that I've known. We've known these couple of years now through Chamber and stuff like
South
that.
Lake Chamber.
So we've been building a relationship over the course of time, and it was just hard to coordinate to get him on the show. And I'm glad that we finally figured out a way to get him here. Larry and I had the opportunity to sit down for. I think we ended up like two and a half hours.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot when somebody's really engaging. I plan a meeting for an hour, and we end up talking for two and a half. My meeting with Jay was like that when I first met him. So never know when you're going to build a relationship that changes your life. So that's just a side note there. All right, this is Larry Oskin. He is the president and founder of Marketing Solutions. He sits on the board of a bunch of things, among them the Claremont Historic Village, the Claremont Downtown Partnership, the Florida Lake Symphony Orchestra. As a matter of fact, it was Larry that coordinated a friend of the show and station, Audrey, to come on so much, and I really, really appreciate it. She's such a sweetheart. And he also sits on the board of Congregation Sinai, his local worship organization. Let's see. He was the CEO and vice president of marketing of Hair Cuttery Corporation, and the vice president of marketing at Regis Corporating, beauty products. Everybody's familiar with both of those. I mean, unless they've been living in a cave, they should be familiar with both of those. That's quite a list of bona fide.
Thanks.
For a young man like yourself.
Young? No. Birthday week.
You're going to be what, at least 38, 39,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
39.
Larry, let me ask you this. How did you get started? I mean, obviously you've been in public relations and marketing for decades. I mean, what drew you
Well,
to
even
it?
as a kid, I wanted to be in art, photography, and writing. Had my first art show when I was 7 in second grade. But while I was still in college, I wanted to volunteer to work in an ad agency. Got lucky enough to get hired. I was only a sophomore in college. I got hired to be a photographer, graphic designer, writer, help produce TV
That's
shows.
before graphic design was done all on computers, I'm
Correct.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hand done with pens and rulers. And quickly got to be head photographer at a New York ad agency, doing work for Pepsi, Buick, JCPenney. Eventually became head of advertising marketing PR for grocery stores, supermarket companies, and handled different things. And like you said, I worked with Regis and Hair Cuttery, and I owned and started Marketing Solutions 26 years ago.
Now, you're just in the middle of a relaunch for Marketing Solutions, because I know that you took some time to deal with your life. You know, we all have stuff that we have to deal with, but you didn't just sit at home. I mean, it says, I think it said, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show is because, you know, we talk about the awesome, amazing people, and you didn't just rest on your laurels. You know, you kept working, but you started volunteering those services
Correct.
for dozens of
Yeah.
nonprofits.
Yeah, here and all over the country. Yeah, I end up with 2 to 5 appointments a day, and so yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the experience. I know you worked with the South Lake Tablet and you're working with the Florida Lake Symphony Orchestra. Give us an idea of some of the improvements you've been able to make in some of those places.
Well, with South Lake Tablet, I'm trying to profile businesses like you are and to educate the community. With Florida Lake Symphony Orchestra, I'm trying to educate people about the arts and culture and music and bring more people in to attend and enjoy the concerts, as well as to be sponsors and donors. With the Claremont Historic Village, it's a matter of people don't even know it's there. People don't know the history of the village. And so I'm excited about helping them with marketing, PR, photography to showcase what Claremont has to offer and what it did years ago. But they have plenty of great activities. And I volunteer to help the Claremont Downtown Partnership on their board to help promote through marketing and PR and photography. So there's so many great local businesses that are the best kept secret. And so I decided, with all the areas and years of experience I had, maybe it's time for me to give back more. I mean, I've been volunteering since I was in public school and high
Right,
school.
right.
That was the way my parents brought us up. But today I do it as part of life. You need to give back.
So, and we really appreciate it. And I got to say that the value of your education and skill becomes quite obvious because, you know, many of these organizations really were kind of secret. You know, you really had to be involved with the organization to really know it was there. So your work has come out and been obvious that you are having an impact. But it becomes time again to relaunch your company because there are businesses that need your help. You know, and I think, you know, I meet with a lot of young businesses, new business owners, and I see this all the time. Is they're really, and I talk about this on the show all the time. They are so good at what they do that many of them miss the idea that they're in the customer finding business before they're in the plumbing business or the trash business or the real estate business. It's you have to find a customer before all of that. Tell us why. Now, you and I had a conversation, and Marketing Solutions does marketing and photography and branding. And one of the things you do is PR. And this hit me because I realized it's a place that's missing in my own businesses, is maybe not as much of a focus on public relations as I probably should have. Why is PR important?
Well, PR is critical for most businesses, whether you're a home-based business, an online business, or a brick and mortar, because it builds credibility, pride, and respect. So unless you want to be the best kept secret in town, the way to start promoting and branding your business is through PR and media relations, public and media relations, to get the word out about what you do by educating the public about what are your distinct advantages, what are your unique specialties and areas of expertise. If you want to grow your business, somebody else needs to know about it.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Can you define PR for us? It's public relations and media relations. They're kind of married. Can you define that for us a little bit?
Yeah. PR and media relations really are exposure, media exposure without paying any money. As opposed to advertising.
That's important. Free is for me.
Yeah. As opposed to paid advertising. People say, oh, I would like to get an advertisement in the local newspaper. And what they really are saying is they want an article or they want to be on a TV show. And they say, I want to be advertised on TV. Well, there's a difference between advertising, marketing, branding, and PR. PR and media relations really builds your reputation by educating the community or other businesses about you and what you do, what services you offer, and what your areas of expertise are.
You know, it's cool that you say that because I'm constantly trying to get businesses to understand they need to be on Joe Knows South Lake, because what I'm trying to do is tell people how good you are at what you're doing, you know, and it really amazes me. When you and I talked, it stuck out to me because sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get them to understand that an ad is not enough. you know? An ad only says you're in business. It doesn't say how you do business, why you do business, and how good you are at it. Can you give us an idea what the difference between marketing, public relations, and advertising? And again, these all get lumped together, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Marketing is really the umbrella of marketing, branding, advertising, graphic design, photography, social media, online media. Marketing is the umbrella.
So all of it is marketing.
Yeah. Then you had asked about PR versus advertising. Like I was saying, PR and media relations is where you get free online or print exposure. You know, you could be in national magazines, you can be in local media, print and online media, you can be in social media. But media relations, like I was saying, is non-paid. So you do have control, but you don't have control. In other words, if somebody interviews you for a TV show or a newspaper story or a magazine, and they spell your name wrong or they get something wrong, that's life.
Yeah.
You can't call and complain later, but you can send them a thank you note no matter what, and you should. So
Can you point it out? Maybe get a second article.
yeah. I mean, there's two rules in PR. The editor or the producer is always right, and the second rule is if they're ever wrong, reread rule number
Right.
one, because
I like it.
because-
Jay likes it.
Yeah. So, you just have to understand your PR marketing. You need to develop quantifiable and quantitative goals. In other words, you need to figure out what do you want, what are your strategic objectives for your business? Do you want to promote yourself as an expert? Do you want to promote the services you have? Do you want new services? Do you want new clients? You have to create a list of objectives. Then you have to attach numerical dollars, percentage, factors to it so that you can, at the end of a month or a year, have met your goals. But in order to do that, you set goals and objectives, but you create an action plan to reach those. And you create a monthly, daily, and annual program to meet those goals. So, just sending out one press release or posting something on Facebook isn't going to make you a hero and a star. So you need to have an ongoing program for media attention, PR and media relations.
Do you know, today the buzzword, and has been for probably the last 6 or 7 years, is social media.
Yeah.
Everybody's always looking to use the next social platform, and we hear these great stories of people that build their businesses through it. In real estate, I deal with this all the time. They want you to focus on the one guy, that did 40 deals last year using Instagram. And I tend to be pretty positive, but I see the, 5,000 guys that tried to use Instagram and had no clue what they were doing and just basically wasted a lot of time and money.
Yeah.
What is the difference between social media and what you're talking about? I mean, how would you answer the idea if somebody says, well, I have social media, I don't need PR?
Well, I would say, no offense, but you're wrong. I mean, you do need social media, but you need online media.
I like
you
that.
Need print media.
Truth.
So, it's good to be on Facebook. It's good to be on Instagram, YouTube, but it's also good to be on online media. There's a distinct difference, and most people don't understand it. Just like they don't understand the difference between paid advertising and free media exposure. So you need to look at the different channels of social media, if that's one of your first projects, and know that millennials are watching and using certain devices, and baby boomers.
Right.
So you have to know your target. You have to not only know your specialties and your areas of expertise, but you need to know your target audience, what they watch and what they listen to, so that you can get exposure in the right media.
So actually, that's a great answer and a great piece of information. Look, we're going to go to commercial break. When we get back, Larry is still going to be with us, and we're going to talk a little bit about maybe how you get started doing PR, how should a press release be created, and some of the other things you might be able to do some of this media exposure that he's talking about. We'll see you in a second. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Claremont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, Quality Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407 403 4165. Karen Arlano at 407 948 0767. Or visit lease at 50west.com.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater shopping plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Life is better when you're smiling. At Modern Orthodontics, Dr. Alan Wong has changed thousands of lives helping patients achieve the modern smile with braces and clear aligners. Utilizing digital scanning technology, Modern Orthodontics creates in-office 3D models for clearly modern aligners. Modern Orthodontics is conveniently located in Claremont, Apopka, and Bushnell. Call or text us to schedule your free exam and create your modern smile today.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. We are still joined by Larry Oskin, the president of Marketing Solutions. We're talking about why public relations is important to your business. You know, Larry, I talk an awful lot to people when I'm talking about marketing and coming onto the show about borrowed credibility. You know, that if, you know, we're getting to a place here at Joe Knows South Lake and South Lake TV that if you come on here, you get the credibility of the show. But by the same extension, we get the credibility of the guest that we're interviewing. Okay. And for instance, next week, Congressman Spano is on here. I know I'm going to get a lot of extra views on that. And I get the credibility because I bring him on. Sure. He gets some local credibility because he's on a smaller station. And I think probably media relations is part of that concept, isn't it?
Yeah, it's win-win.
It's win-win. You both get something out of it. How do we get started? You know, let's say, so I own a business and I say, you know, you're right. This is a big gaping hole in my marketing strategy, you know, and I'm not really getting out of Facebook what I want out of it. How do we get started? How long should we expect to have to do it before we start to see some results?
Well,
because I hear that from people all the time.
First, I would never expect an overnight success story. Secondly, investing in professional media and PR relations is an ongoing project. It will never go away. So you need to develop an ongoing daily and annual marketing PR calendar with strategic objectives so that you expose different parts of your expertise or your services or your products throughout the year. You can't write a press release that sells anything. You have to educate the community, and you can't sell everything at once in one little article. So you need to define different areas.
But you've been with businesses and especially larger corporations. Yeah. At what point can somebody honestly say? So and I tell this to people when they go into any kind of a marketing campaign, you know, because I deal with a lot of young realtors as well. Any kind of a marketing campaign, I warn them. I say, look, if you're going to start making cold calls, you need to expect to make cold calls for 5 to 6 months before you see any effect. What's the same kind of thing if I go into a public relations campaign?
Well, depending on how you do it, you can have instant results. I wouldn't count on it. But,
that's rolling 11 at the dice,
The media works in advance. I mean, there's monthly publications that are magazines or online publications. There's weekly publications, like South Lake Tablet is weekly. South Lake TV is daily. Orlando Sentinel is daily. But there's national trade magazines and national business magazines that are monthly. So you need to create a calendar of what you want to promote, when you want to promote it, by taking into account their editorial calendar before yours. So if you want exposure locally, regionally, and nationally, you have to look at the times of the year, the holidays and the seasons, as well as editorial calendars. So even if TV doesn't have an editorial calendar, you know the holidays and the seasons coming. If you go to a magazine or a newspaper or print online media publication, you can go online, look at their website, and find out they're promoting proms in April before the May proms.
Right, yeah.
They're promoting Easter in March before Easter. If it's a monthly publication, they're working 3 months in advance. So
they don't sell bathing suits at Walmart in August. They sell them in February and March.
So if you're a salon trying to sell prom makeup and hairstyles, and you send out a press release in May, they don't need you. If you send it out 3 months prior, knowing that monthly publication is going to consider you as an expert in that area, you'll probably be featured.
So when you're talking to the average business, would you recommend, if you get into this, plan on doing this for a year before you decide not to do it? I mean, that you've got to give it some time. This is not a 3-month process,
No.
This is a year, 2 years. This is something long. You're going to be planning this long term.
Correct. Well,
So,
it's a never-ending process. Whether you do it yourself or hire a professional, it's never-ending.
So how do we get started? I mean, I've determined that I need this in my business. How do I write a press release?
Well, you need to sit down and develop a media kit first. The media kit consists of a biography about you as the expert, a business story about your business or your service, sharing what makes you distinctively better or different or unique, and then you need photography, professional photographs. Not just from an iPhone, of high resolution of yourself and of your services, whether it's ribbon cutting, your building, your staff, a massage, a facial, beautiful homes, interior design, and then you start writing press releases. So the press releases, you sit down and create a calendar, January through December. It's not that hard. And you also may have a different calendar for your business of what you want to promote. If you're in real estate or a salon, it's a very different list. So if you're a salon, you're going to be promoting hair color and haircuts and facials and nails. If you're, a lawyer, wills and divorces, there's no real season for it. But you can develop a calendar to promote different areas of your expertise at different times of the year. So you just have to take all that into account. Then when you write your first press release, you need a list of all your defined areas of expertise and defined areas of what you want to educate the community on. So you can write a list of at least 12 to 25 of these topics, and then start to write a professional release with a catchy headline. You put it in real format. Today is the 21st century. You don't need to double space something and put it in print. Everything is done by email or online. And you develop a target media list. So it all comes together. All these pieces come together. Like a target media list is a list of local, regional, and national media. You get the email addresses. First, you do research online or go to a library, and you find out who's the producer of the TV show, who's the editor at the Orlando Sentinel or the South Lake Tablet, or who are the writers that are going to be interested in real estate or law or baked goods or restaurants. And then you create those target media lists, and when you go to send out your press release, you write a nice press release, you send it out to the specific target media list that you want with a cover pitch letter, and you send it with attached photographs that are high resolution, at least 1 megabyte or 300 dpi, dots per inch. Because if you send photos from your phone that are in kilobytes and too low resolution, they're useless. So, you need to have...
Man, you're speaking Greek to me. The KB, the kilobytes and the megabytes and
yeah. Well, that's why you should consider hiring a professional. But so between having a media kit and a target media list, you put together your press releases and you start a media campaign.
So I want to deep dive into a couple of subjects you talked there. I was glad you and I were talking during our interview, our pre-interview, about the difference between local and national media, and you mentioned that having a list of local, regional, and national media, and it might be counterintuitive. If I'm Joe, the local realtor, or Susie, the local salon owner, why would I need? I might have 100 customers at my salon. Why do I need national exposure?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to most people, but I've been successful doing this for over 40 years. And whether I'm working with donut shops or pizza or lawyers or realtors, there are national trade publications. For instance, I've had things published in Real Estate News, in Chiropractic Journal, and every category you can imagine, hundreds of categories. If you may think that there's no value in national media exposure because I'm just here in Claremont or South Lake, but the local media could care less about you if you're just one of 1,000 salons or 500 salons in the greater Orlando area, or one of 200 lawyers that specialize in divorce in greater Orlando. So
200? You think it's just 200?
Probably 500. Or accident attorneys. You watch every commercial. So what you need to do there is to, the light bulb needs to go off in your head that if I get national exposure first, when I come back to the local media, I can say I was featured on the Ellen Show, I was featured on the Rachel Ray Show, I was featured on South Lake TV. Then the other media are interested in you. So, for instance, if you're a salon and you approach the local media saying, gee, I want to be featured as an expert in hair color, they could care less because there's 1,000 other salons in greater Orlando. But if you've been featured in The Colorist, Launchpad, Day Spa, American Salon, Modern Salon, as a nationally respected expert, then you come back to the local media and say, I was just featured on TV or in newspaper magazine as a nationally recognized expert in this area, and I'd love to help you with, proms, Easter, summer haircuts, and, real estate. So it's important to consider the national market and the trade market, whether you're selling business to business or business to consumer. And then once you get some credibility, you create what's called PR reprints. You take the article that's been published, if it's in print or online, and you create what's called a PR or media reprint. If you're on TV, you get a web link for that, and you can share that with your pitches to other media to show that you have credibility. You are already considered an expert.
And you can even attach that stuff to emails now, and that sort of thing, because I've gotten them.
It's easier to get national publicity than local publicity.
Well, that was the next question, actually. Why is that?
Nobody. Most of my clients over the 40 years said, "What? I don't need to be, in the Regis Philbin show, or it gives you instant credibility to all media, to all consumers, to all clients, that you have been featured somewhere nationally. It may not bring you any immediate dollars, but it will get you and garner you plenty of media exposure, online, print, and social. So
I would imagine it would be easier. I mean, it makes sense that once I get media attention, nationally, that it's easier to get local, because we're at that borrowed credibility. If ABC thinks I'm good enough, then the South Lake Tablet should think,
right.
At least they know that I'm fairly safe. But it doesn't answer the question why. I mean, because is it a perception? I used to know a guy, and he always dated the most beautiful women. Mm-hmm. And I was young and single, and everybody wanted to know. And he was ugly. I mean, straight up hit with a stick in the face ugly. And he was a great guy, but he was no better than any of the rest of us. And the difference between him and the rest of us was he knew a lot of people didn't approach beautiful women.
Yeah, he knew how to market
and
himself.
so he knew how to market himself. And so is it that kind of a concept that people think that,
Yes.
nobody gets on national media unless you're famous?
Correct. Most people think, I'm not famous enough. But if you develop everybody has a degree, whether it's high school, college, but who cares? At some point, everybody's got a high school degree, a 4-year degree, or a master's degree, or doctorate. What happens in your career is that you need some area of expertise. Even when I was still in high school and college, I promoted myself and got a lot of opportunities because I properly promoted and marketed myself. So you don't need a million credentials from graduating or certifications. They're helpful, but if you can start to get media attention, people do like celebrity status today. And so if you've been on South Lake TV, or you're in the South Lake Tablet, or you're in the Orlando Sentinel, that adds a ton of credibility when you go out and get new business.
Larry, we could talk about this, obviously, and one of the things I was talking to Larry about was he is such a wealth of information. There's probably 300 subjects I could fill an hour show with. We could do a whole day seminar with you. Stay tuned. No spoiler alerts, but project's working. Tell us what's next for Marketing Solutions.
Well, I'm obviously relaunching, rebranding myself in a smaller way because I used to.
You were international.
I did a lot of international work. I had a building. I had 12 full-time employees, bookkeepers, CPAs, lawyers. So now I'm basically working by myself and as needed with others. But
is every one of those gray hairs an employee?
Yes. Losing my hair. But I'm trying now to work with small and medium, mostly small and medium businesses. I'm not afraid of national, international companies because I've had clients all over the world. But whether it's a nonprofit organization or something in the arts or something in entertainment or a local little business, I'm interested in helping those people because most people don't know how to market themselves. So what's next for me is I'm going to do a lot of volunteering still to help the arts. I am an artist. I am a photographer. I've exhibited in museums and art galleries. I'm going to keep promoting my fine art photography through Art Boutique. And commercial photography. But I also want to help do public relations, media relations, social media, marketing, branding for small, mid-sized businesses and nonprofits.
All right. Well, this is your camera. I want you to look in here and to tell people how to get in touch with you if they have questions about something we talked about today. If they want to get in touch with you about doing something about marketing and public relations, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, I thank you for this opportunity. You can call me directly on my cell phone at 703-508-6800. That's 703-508-6800. You can email me at loskin@mktgsols.com or visit my website, www.mktgsols.com. The mktgsols.com is short for Marketing Solutions.
Jay, could you bring up that? I think that's the website. Can you bring that up just for half a second, just so people know when they go in, this is what it looks like. What is that? Specializing in the
beauty business.
Beauty business. That's probably changing a little bit,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, that was the former Marketing Solutions. I've been specializing in beauty and medical, but I've handled dozens, baked goods and realtors.
Well, that's why we said you're in a relaunch. So I want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
One of the things that's so wonderful about doing this show is that I find, especially when I talk to guys like Larry, I see places in my own businesses that can be improved. And certainly I'll be having an ongoing relationship with Larry and talking to him about some of my own gaps in my marketing plans. Look, if you know somebody, Larry's been a great guest. If you know somebody that should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, reach out to me through the contact information there on the screen. If you know somebody who is not branding their business here on South Lake TV, you can reach out to me. We can have that conversation. Heck, I might put you in touch with Larry to tell you how best to brand on this station, or at least how to leverage branding on this station. Your customers are here in South Lake. All of our viewers are here in South Lake. We have, excuse me, sorry, it's all fun and games till you go live. We reach over 800,000 homes here in the South Lake market. So you're missing out if you're not branding here. That's my shameless plug. Finally, as Larry has been doing for decades, using his greatness to bring out the greatness in others, I encourage you that there is greatness inside of you, and you can use that greatness to bring out the greatness in others. Touch another life, you will change the world. You may never see the change, but you will change it nonetheless. This is Joe Carlisle and Larry Oskin on Joe Knows South Lake. We've been glad to have you. Hopefully, I'll see you tonight in Claremont at the Moonlight Players Theater, coming to see the opening of my show. And with that said, I will see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend, and I really do love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: